Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zakir Jacob. Prime Minister Modi was in Barasat today in Bengal, which is less than 100 kilometers from Sandeshkhali. That is where the most horrific crimes have come to light against TMC strongman Shahjahan Sheikh. He has been incognito for more than 50 days. He was finally arrested last week. But despite the huge pressure, the national media's gaze on him, and the Calcutta High Court yesterday ordering that Shahjahan Sheikh should be handed over to the CBI, the Bengal government and the CID agency there refused to do so. So much so, today the central agencies had to once again approach the Calcutta High Court, which threatened to slap contempt of court charges against the Bengal government, against the state government. Why is the Mamata Banerjee government protecting a former councillor who is Shahjahan Sheikh? This is a man who is accused of heinous crimes like land grab and gang rape. Why is Mamata Banerjee's government seemingly going out on a limb to try and protect him? We'll get to all of those questions and whether or not the Prime Minister's comments today in that public rally in Barasat will have an impact on how the voters of Sandeshkhali, particularly women voters, vote. That is something that we will explore tonight on Brass Tacks. But first, the story so far.
गरीब वंचित आदिवासी परिवार की बहनों बेटियों के साथ टीएमसी के नेता जगह जगह अत्याचार कर रहे हैं। टीएमसी सरकार बंगाल की महिलाओं के गुनहगार को बचाने के लिए पूरी शक्ति लगा रही है।
State police, meaning West Bengal police, would be sufficient to hold that the state police are totally biased and every attempt is being made to delay the investigation in order to protect the accused.
कि CBI जितने भी यहाँ तैनात किया जाए, जिनके हाथ में सौंपा जाए जिम्मेवारी तफ्तीश की, बंगाल की जो पुलिस बल है वो कभी नहीं मदद करेगी।
All right, I want to first take you through the scathing order of the Calcutta High Court, which came out yesterday, and it led to this sort of turf war, if you will, between the CBI on the one hand and the Bengal police. What it said was this: number one, that the state police was restrained from proceeding with the probe. The Calcutta High Court explicitly made that clear. Despite the court order, the case was transferred to the Bengal CID. It was taken away from the Bengal CID and given to the CBI. The state police's actions, this is what the court said, it shows that it was totally biased. Also, it went on to say that the state police played hide and seek to shield the accused persons. It also said that every attempt was being made to try and delay the investigation. The accused can influence the probe if it is allowed to rest with the state police. I can't think of a more critical, sort of disparaging comments that have been made by the High Court of any state against an incumbent state government. I'm going to try and also bring you up to speed with what the Prime Minister said today and why the women voters of West Bengal are critical. They've been a steadfast vote bank of the TMC. The BJP is hoping to make inroads. They tried to do that in 2021 in the assembly elections, in the 2019 Lok Sabha. But unless you have a majority of the women vote in Bengal, you are not going to make significant inroads. So the women of West Bengal have been voting for Mamata Banerjee since 2011, from the first time that she came to power. This is one of her core vote banks. And that is the BJP's target, which has also seen a steady rise in the support amongst women. Now, for the Trinamool, if you go back to all the elections in the past, in 2016, the vote percentage of women in favor of the Trinamool was 48%. It dipped slightly by 1% in the 2019 Lok Sabha, but in the 2021 Assembly elections, it went up to 50%. So, which means half of all the women in Bengal voted for the Trinamool. As for the BJP, in 2016, it was just 10%. Only 1 out of every 10 women was voting for the BJP in 2016. It went up to almost 40%, 4 out of 10 women in the 2019 Lok Sabha election. So that's a dramatic jump from 10% to almost 40%. It came down by a percent in the 2021 Assembly election, where it came down from 38 to 37%. So clearly, the entire attempt right around now, and with this Sandeshkhali episode, the BJP is hoping that it can appeal to the women voters of West Bengal, particularly to the women voters of North 24 Parganas, where Sandeshkhali is, because there again, the number of women voters outweigh or outrun or outcount the number of male voters. Is it possible? Will the women ditch Mamata Banerjee and hitch their wagons with the BJP? Let's find out. Priyanka Tibrewal is spokesperson of the BJP, Tauseefur Rahman, spokesperson of the TMC, Bikash Ranjan Bhattacharya is a Rajya Sabha member of Parliament of the CPIM, Rajat Sethi is a political analyst. Let me start with you, Tauseef, because, all right, we'll get to Tauseef in 1 second, but Priyanka Tibrewal, you know, for election after election, from 2011, 2016, 2021, women of Bengal, and particularly in the southern part of Bengal, have been backing Mamata Banerjee. Why should our viewers believe that Sandeshkhali would change any of that?
Well, very good evening, Zaka. Now you see, whatever percentage you are showing here, I would not agree to that percentage completely, because the percentage which is coming to you according to the calculation is not exactly the percentage which has been voted, because we see that votes don't happen in West Bengal. And the way they take place, that also we have seen. So completely this is not the honest percentage if you calculate it. Now when you are talking about women being in support of Mamata Banerjee, see, Mamata Banerjee has utilized each and every scheme of the center in her own name. Right. And now that she was giving 500 rupees to the women, you see the women of Bengal today, they are standing and they are saying that we need respect. We don't want 500 rupees. They are saying no to the Lakshmi Bhandar, which Mamata Banerjee was offering. That is why she said that now I'm going to give 750. But the women refrain from taking that money because they are saying that we are called in the party offices late night. We are asked to do certain work, and not just that, we are not paid after that also. And more so over, we are physically and sexually assaulted. So we don't need 500 rupees because that money is being given to us because you are sexually exploiting us. We are being raped. We are being gang raped. This is what the women were saying. And then the Mamata Banerjee government says that, see, there is no such thing. Women are lying. They are being paid. Initially, she said that. But I also don't understand who this big guy, Sheikh Shahjahan, is. For the first time in my life, I have seen that a government goes to the Supreme Court to save an accused. Now, why is he so important? That lies in the demography of that area. Zaka, I tell you, once again, the first and very important thing to understand is that this is being done again, once again, for political appeasement, for Muslim appeasement of the votes. Because Sandeshkhali is an area where if you cross a river, it connects you to Bangladesh. That is the border from where the illegal immigrants are being supported by the Shahjahan. And now they are the people who are changing the demography and the geography and history of Mamata Banerjee's votes and politics.
Okay. So let me ask Tauseef, who's joining us. He speaks for the TMC. Tauseef, the point is that, you know, why is the Mamata Banerjee government seemingly going out on such a limb that A, it took 50 plus days for them to arrest this man. The entire nation's gaze was on this man. They still took 50 days to arrest Shahjahan Sheikh. But more importantly, more than the arrest itself, who is he? I mean, he's after all a former councillor of the TMC. The TMC, by going out on a limb to try and protect him, yesterday, they refused to give the CBI custody of this man. despite the Calcutta High Court order. So much so today, Tausif, and you're a lawyer, so you know this better than me, the court threatened the state with contempt proceedings. That's when the state said, okay, we'll give him custody to the CBI. Why? Who is this man? I mean, why is he such a VVIP, protectee?
Good evening, Zaka. You know, this whole VIP culture is given to Sheikh Shahjahan and making such a fuss out of it. And the BJP team, especially the State Bengal unit team, wanted to politicize, giving a communal angle. It all failed because if someone is making Sheikh Shahjahan hero, is only Bharatiya Janata Dal Party and no one else. Because since day one, the ED went there to raid Sheikh Jahan's house without a lookout notice, and all that happened begin from there itself. But the thing is that when you talk about Sheikh Shahjahan, when you talk about 55 days, when you talk about the BJP, TMC is defending Sheikh Shahjahan, what about Brij Bhushan? It's not a what about Zaka. It's a fair game. When you attack Trinamool Congress with Sheikh Shahjahan, when you want to connect Sheikh Shahjahan is not the whole TMC. TMC came in power in 2011. Sheikh Shahjahan joined Trinamool Congress in 2013. And there was a CPM MLA out there. And now the CPM is attacking that हमने बहुत कुछ बोला था किसी ने सुना नहीं. Now the thing is that we have our own perspective. We have a reservation for ED and CBI because they don't want to do their job. They just want to roll out the things for BJP so that BJP can take mileage and cash out from all these cases. But we wanted immediate action. That's why we want to go Supreme Court. Is that so? TMC is defending Sheikh Shahjahan, using that our democracy to go the Supreme Court and roll out the case over there. I mean, what is the harm behind it? Sheikh Shahjahan's case has been taken to Supreme Court. We are not talking about the rape and sexual assault. If we talk about the rape and sexual assault, if we talk about the Nari Shakti, coming from the words of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, I mean, he is the one who gave ticket in Asansol to a person who used the term Bengali mal to Bengali females. I mean, this is what we are talking about, Nari Shakti. That's a shame. And we want to make Sandeshkhali into a big boss house. We want to stay the Karan Johar show over there. We are not going to allow this. Agni Mitra Paul, the MLA, over there, she wanted to turn Sandeshkhali into a battleground, And when I say
I do want to take a moment. Please give me a moment before I go to Bikash. Well, 1 second, please. Before I go to Bikash Ranjan Bhattacharya, before I go to Rajat Sethi, if you look at the map of Bengal and the way in which the 2019 Lok Sabha election results played out, I think it's a very, very neat pattern. Number one, where did the BJP win its maximum number of seats? It won in the northern part of Bengal, in Cooch Behar, in Alipurdwar, the entire northern part of Bengal, which is more, Hindi speaking, Nepali speaking, and perhaps even less Bengali speaking. BJP also won seats in the eastern part of the state, the districts that sort of border Bihar, Bankura, Purulia, Jangal Mahal, some of the tribal parts which are in the eastern part of Bengal. Where is the population of Bengal and where is, the bulk of the seats of Bengal? That is here in the southern part. It's Kolkata, which accounts for a large number of seats. Also the outskirts, north and south 24 Parganas. This entire belt, which accounts for a large majority of the seats as far as Bengal is concerned. And Sandeshkhali is bang in the middle of North 24 Parganas. This entire southeastern belt of West Bengal has a larger proportion of women voters. And history has shown, electoral demographics have shown that since Mamata Banerjee started winning elections in 2011, the first assembly election that the Trinamool Congress won, this entire belt has devotedly voted for her. And one of the big vote banks has been women. So it is around this belt that BJP is hoping, because of Sandeshkhali, they'll be able to make inroads. Mamata Banerjee, if she has to hold on to two critical vote banks. One is women, the other happens to be Muslims. If these two vote banks conjoin like they have in 2011, 16, 21, if they do so in 2024, then the Trinamool Congress will have an edge. But if there are cracks in the women vote bank, which the BJP is hoping there will be, then this sea of green that you see, there will be an extension of the sea of saffron, both from the western part of the state, which is the districts bordering Bihar, and of course from the northern part of the state, where the BJP won a bulk of its seats. So this is the electoral demographics. This is how the vote banks will play as far as Trinamool Congress and BJP are concerned. Having said this, let me now go across to Bikash Ranjan Bhattacharya and to Rajat Sethi. But Bikash Ranjan Bhattacharya, so far at least, there is no evidence to suggest that the stranglehold almost that Mamata Banerjee has over the women vote, that is in any way decreasing because of Sandeshkhali. At the end of the day, people in Bengal are saying, what is Sandeshkhali? It's one remote island. Who really cares about it?
You see, Sandeshkhali is one of the instances where the people, when get united, particularly the women folk, and they got united with strong bamboos in their hand to face the police also. That's a qualitative change in the form of resistance by the women, because they were treated like just slaves. And in fact, the rightist political parties, whether BJP and TMC, they have the same philosophy of following Monobadi culture, the patriarchal philosophy in the society which they always want to impose. And that has created this situation when the women got revolted. I would say this is some sort of revolt by the women in the Sandeshkhali area. And they, in the meantime, during this lull period, so-called lull period from 2011 up to today, the left parties very silently got them organized, and that's the reflection in the protest. And they could come out and say openly, we little care about your 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. We are but much more concerned about our prestige, about our femininity. We want to protect it. You have destroyed that. Therefore, this has created a ripple in the state. Wherever the women, they had suffered so long, people could not raise their voice. Now they are raising their voices. Therefore, the effect in the election, we will not know what is going to happen. I am not a soothsayer, but I still believe that this will give a definite edge to the old left vote pattern.
But
and
Mr. Bhattacharya, I have not seen evidence in the 2011, 2016 or 2021 election. In fact, with each of these three assembly elections, Mamata Banerjee's majority has increased. And the reason it's increased is because her core vote bank, you can call it whatever you want, women, Muslim, other minorities and so on and so forth, some of the urban elite, they have further and further consolidated with each passing election. But let me ask Rajat Sethi this. The problem, Rajat, is, yes, you can make a lot of noise around this, and rightfully so. There has been a lot of media gaze on what happened in Sandeshkhali. But election after election, Rajat, the voters, particularly the women voters of Bengal, have reposed their faith in Mamata Banerjee. For a large number of women to ditch Mamata and join hands with an entity like the BJP or any other entity for that matter would take a significant amount, almost like a seismic shift. It's almost like what happened in Nandigram and Shingur. Do you see that with Sandeshkhali?
Jacob, first of all, a woman issue like that of Sandeshkhali should not be belittled by bringing in politics. But just to analyze what's happening there, and if I were to wear my psephological hats, in my view, anti-incumbency first builds slowly, and then all of a sudden there is an avalanche. So for a fairly long period of time, Mamata Banerjee and the government, there has been a considerable amount of anti-incumbency gradually building up. But she has been taking the advantage of, the left and the Congress trying to take away one slice of the anti-incumbency vote, and the opposition vote getting split. She was able to swing back in power. But with increasingly, we are seeing that both the left and the Congress are getting decimated, and it's becoming increasingly a bipolar election. Mm-hmm. I believe that tipping point is reaching. The tipping point will ensure that once that is reached full and final, then you will see an avalanche of vote base declining. The good thing on Mamata Banerjee's side is 34% Muslim base. So she doesn't have to work hard from a zero. She starts from 34. All that she needs to do is to add another 10 odd percentage points and reach to that number of 44, 45. Yeah. And that is invincible if you go by conventional arithmetic. But I think, largely I'm seeing and I'm sensing that the intelligentsia, the urban class, the youngsters, everybody have had it enough. This would be the third time now for Mamata Banerjee. Holding on to power beyond this, if she doesn't mend her ways, is going to be incredibly hard for her. Sandeshkhali is going to be a very, very decisive moment in her political journey as well. Just sending women members in the parliament alone is not going to help her. Justice has to be seen to be delivered in this case, and she has been on the wrong side of history. I just feel though, and she's committing mistakes after mistakes. No polity is going to pardon her for this.
So Tausif, does this explain the 30% plus Muslim population, Muslim electorate in a large part of the southeastern parts of Bengal, the central parts of Bengal? Does this explain why Mamata Banerjee and her government have seemingly gone out on a limb to defend this man? I keep saying this. After all, he's just a former councillor, that too from a small island town, 100 kilometers away from Kolkata. Point is, why is the government doing so? I refuse to believe it's an ego battle with the centre. It's not just an ego battle with the centre.
Zaka, till the time it's about ED and PMLA's case, PMC is involved with such things, and we have to see what Sheikh Shahjahan has been looked under. The FIR will be there. He has been taken by CBI, and things will be crystal clear. And it is our duty to know everything in white and black. But the mentality of election, the mentality of vote bank doesn't matches with us.
No. Please explain to our viewers, Tausif. Please explain to our viewers. It took you 55 days and the entire national media's gaze to first arrest him. That's one thing that you need to explain. The second thing, and more importantly, after a high court, the Calcutta High Court no less, has given an explicit order that he needs to be handed over to the CBI, the CID of the state police refuses to do so. Why?
Can I read the statement coming from the boat, Zaka, if you allow me, sir? I will be quick if you allow me to read. I can allow this. Just listen to me. The embargo on the investigation, therefore, till the appeals were heard and disposed, order and direction issued by the learned single bench in the compact order dated 17 January 2024 shall remain stayed until further orders. It goes without saying that the West Bengal State Police shall also be restrained from proceeding with the investigation.
There have already been debates on this. Whatever he is talking is history. Whatever he is talking is history.
As far as I know, I'm not a lawyer, but the order yesterday was explicitly clear that Shahjahan Sheikh's physical custody needs to be given to the CBI. I'm not saying this is the first time it's happened, but it's extremely rare in the history of Indian criminal jurisprudence where a state agency has taken control of taken the custody of an accused person and refuses to part with his custody despite the orders of a high court. I can't think of too many instances in the past where this has happened.
Definitely there was something which they were trying to hide. And I have already told you what they are trying to hide. It is the illegal immigrants to whom they are issuing the voter cards. So that this can be their minority vote bank. This is exactly clear. Now I am telling you, Zaka, whatever it is, people of Bengal do not wish to vote for her. It is only through this minority vote bank that she is holding on to power. And now since this gentleman, according to Mamata Banerjee, who is a gentleman, because that is what she said in the Legislative Assembly, that he is a good boy. So this good boy has now been arrested. We had all seen his demeanor when he was arrested and when he was surrendered. As per them, when he surrendered or whether he was arrested, we have seen his demeanor, the way he was walking. And I had said that when the matter will go to the CBI, how the CBI is going to drag him.
Just give me 1 second. I'm going to come back to both the BJP and TMC spokespersons. Let me go to Bikash Ranjan Bhattacharya, please, because he has to leave after this. Mr. Bhattacharya, again, I come back to this entire, and I think this is an absolutely critical point. There do happen these stories every once in a while, which completely, sends political earthquakes through the establishment, whether it's at the state level, whether it's at the central level, that's a matter of different debate. But to see this have some kind of a seismic effect, politically speaking, you're not seeing evidence of that. When Shingur and Nandigram happened, you saw that because people died in police firing. It was framed as injustice at the hands of the state instruments. Whereas here, that's not how it is being viewed, at least not until now.
Don't compare this incident with Shingur and Nandigram. Shingur and Nandigram was a planned conspiracy against the government project. That's a quite different thing. Here, this is the activities of a particular political party's leaders. I would say the political party's corrupt persons. And they have really kept the people down under the threat of their life and their livelihood. They have now revolted. This is where the administration failed to give due protection to these people. Now the people do not anymore rely upon the police administration. They have taken their own cause in their own hand. Thereafter only police came forward to dissuade them, do not do this. And ultimately the Sheikh Shahjahan,
No, sir, you are numb on Sandeshkhali because BJP is creating a havoc. So that's why you are numb. You don't want to see the truth, sir. You're such a senior panelist, sir, and you're an MP. We respect you, sir. Staying in Calcutta, we really respect you. But we need to know the fact coming from your mouth. Isn't there criminalizing in Sandeshkhali? They're politicizing in Sandeshkhali. They're making a havoc and doing a massacre in Sandeshkhali, sir. And you are being numb. This is not fair.
I do. One second. Gentlemen, please hold your horses.
Yes, sir.
I want to go back to the point that Rajat made about the Muslim vote. Clearly, it is a significant vote bank, yes, for Mamata Banerjee, no doubt about it. But the Muslim vote in the context of the overall state, if you look at the state of Bengal, those seats, again, I'm going back to 2019 Lok Sabha, the 42 seats in Bengal, those seats which have more than 40% Muslim population are only 8 seats. Out of those 8 seats, the Trinamool Congress in 2019 Lok Sabha won 4, BJP won 2, the Congress won 2. But in those 8 seats, the vote share of the Trinamool Congress was much higher. It was 41%. The BJP was only 28%. The Congress party was 20%. Now, here's the interesting thing. These seats are spread across different regions of Bengal. There are some in the south, there are some in the central part, in the Malda, Murshidabad belt, and of course, there are some in the north as well. But if you look at the southern belt, there are only 2 seats which have more than 40% Muslim vote share. One is Jayanagar, one of the southernmost seats in Bengal. The other is Bashirhat. Now, Bashirhat is where Sandeshkhali is. Bashirhat, the 2019 MP of the TMC from Bashirhat, is Nusrat Jahan. She won from this constituency with an overwhelming margin of more than 45% votes. And that is because a large proportion in this constituency, more than 40% proportion in this constituency, happens to be the Muslim vote. And this is where Sandeshkhali is. So yes, as far as this 2 or 3 seats in this North 24 Parganas and South 24 Parganas belt is concerned, if it's a question of influencing 2 or 3 seats and appeasing a Muslim vote, yes, it does make political rationale for what Mamata Banerjee is doing. But this does not explain how it may spread to all the other seats of the state, because after all, those seats, if you were to take away, the central part, which has a different dynamic, the Malda, Murshidabad, Behrampur, that belt, and the northern part, which is again the Kuch Bihar, Alipurduar belt, which again has a different electoral dynamic, you are looking at single-digit seats for which the Muslim vote could be critical. And to say that Mamata Banerjee is doing all of this for a handful of seats, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seats, that is a little difficult to believe. But let me go back to our political guests, and I'll try and get a sense of this as well. Priyanka Triparwal, I just explained with our graphic wall, our magic wall, that the Muslim vote, or the women vote for that matter, does not fully explain why Mamata Banerjee is going out on a limb and her government and her police are going out on a limb to defend Shahjahan Sheikh. So why then are they doing that?
So Zaka, whatever I said when we started the debate has been proved through the chart which you just showed. Because that is exactly what I was trying to say. Now, since you are saying that what is the impact of these false and fake voters which Mamata Banerjee is creating with the help of this person, Sheikh Jahan, how does it impact the other seats? Now I'll tell you that only 10 days back, we had given a application before the Election Commission where we gave a list of 17 lakh fake voters who have been added to the voter slip. And we have proved that they do not exist. Not just that, the names of people who are dead, their names have been given in the voter list. Names have been repeated in different area. Supposing one person is from one area, his name is there in the voter list of another area. So how all this is happening? Now this is the answer to it.
Okay.
Because documents have been
Tasif,
given
one
to
second.
the
Tasif, I'm
illegal
coming back to you.
immigrants who are
Tasif, give me
coming
one
from
second.
Bangladesh.
Let me ask Rajat Sethi. So Rajat, again, I've given you the breakup of the Muslim vote share as far as Bengal is concerned and also the women vote share. Again, I don't think these two factors, as important as these two vote banks are for Mamata Banerjee, fully necessarily explain why her government for 55 days, took 55 days to arrest this man Shahjahan Sheikh.
Well, another possible explanation could be that he knows a fair amount of details of or functioning of the party, funding, financing, something. I mean, at the end of the day, the whole controversy started because of the enforcement directorate knocking at the doors. So he could be funding and financing some of the prominent faces of the TMC, and he might, share certain interesting facts about the functioning of TMC to the authorities. I think that is what is the other part of this puzzle, which is not clear till the investigating agencies do not extract that information out of him. I personally feel that there is a lot of dirt that he would expose in the coming days. Especially, this was the principal reason why they said that we will not hand it over him to the CBI, because the CBI will have its own means to elicit all of this information, and that would have scared some of the top leadership of the TMC.
Tasif,
this is what I can sense. Otherwise, there is just no rationale whatsoever.
Tasif, the problem is, this is not a case in isolation. The problem for the TMC is, over the last 3-4 years or so, since the 2021 election, look at the names who have been clouded with very grave allegations of corruption and perhaps even worse. You have Partha Chatterjee, you have Madan Mitra, there's Anubrata Mondol, and now you have Shahjahan Sheikh, who's not even an MLA or any kind of a big leader. The problem for the TMC is, it seems like, and the impression seems to be going around, that all of these Bahubalis who the TMC depended on, they are meeting with their comeuppance. And that's not a good sign to the voter. The voter never wants to be seen as voting for a criminal or a hardened convict of some kind. Whereas in the case of the TMC, one after another, these names have had grave allegations against them. Many of them have been arrested. Many of them are in jail. The perception is that, look, they are up to something fishy.
Zaka, I mean, with all due respect, Trinamool Congress and the leaders are not dependent on any other leaders, right? We are totally dependent on the voters. We are totally dependent on the 10 crore people of West Bengal who have trusted us since 2011. And every time when the election comes, we have seen such kind of criminal angles coming up, 2014, 16, 19, 21. And 2024. So we are preparing since 2011. It's nothing new for us. We are very much used to it. But Zaka, when you talk about corruption and allegation and accusation, when you talk about Partha is behind the bars. When you talk about Jyoti Priya Malik is behind the bars. But the case is going on. There is no result yet. When you talk about Sheikh Shahjahan is behind the bars, I want to ask the BJP, all those people where ED have raided their house, whether Delhi, UP, Bangalore, Madhya Pradesh, are they being arrested? Are they being suspended? We have suspended.
Okay, last 30 seconds, Priyanka Tibrewal, please to respond. 30 seconds. Priyanka Tibrewal, 30 seconds, and then I'm going to wrap up this first part of the debate, please. Please, thank you.
We are concerned with West Bengal, although we are always concerned with whosoever is involved in any kind of illegal activity. But yes, this is the job of the ED, to investigate, and you are not even allowing them to investigate.
Okay.
You are attacking the ED when it comes.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. We'll see how the story plays out in Bengal, because I suspect this is going to have ramifications. You might see the effect of it perhaps in the Lok Sabha election. But I think this is going to append many known and believed theories and vote banks as far as West Bengal is concerned. Remember, it was the big outlier in the 2019 Lok Sabha election. No one expected the BJP to get 18 MP seats from Bengal. Whether or not they'll be able to repeat that, whether they will better that, whether they will fall short of that, we will wait and see. But Sandeshkhali, I suspect, will have an impact one way or the other.